That's why I fuck your bitch, you fat.
Come on, James!
West side, black boy killers, you know who the
Come on, James! Come on, James!
What is up, everyone? That is how my freestyle wrestling competition went at the place, at the venue. You know, I'm very proud of myself, and you know, there's a lot of takes that I can really gather from, you know, my third time wrestling at the competition, and just, you know, putting yourself in a competitive nature, in a competitive environment. You know, there's a lot that you learn about yourself, more than you just learn about your opponents. I feel like there's a lot that you learn about yourself and how you can improve, and a lot of good things that you can take from yourself as well. You know, it's not always just about improvements only, but also reflecting on how well you've done. You know, I've come out with a win. You know, I won a medal, and I'm very, very happy with that. Now, that being said, I want to also help you guys, you know, anyone there who's, you know, really thinking about taking up a combat sport, or even in particular wrestling. If you're thinking about taking up wrestling, if there's any advice you want from me, you know, I'm here to give you a few bits of advices and some tips, and you know, how I have improved in wrestling myself, you know, for wrestling over a year. You know, just to start off, I'd really want to say that, you know, it's always been a passion of mine. Combat sports has always been a passion of mine. Now, talking about wrestling in general, you know, I've been from a kid, from like 4 or 5 years old, I've been following wrestling, WWE to be exact, since I was a kid. And I've always been into, you know, fighting, you know, even like anything like fighting movies, playing, you know, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, any form of combat I've always had a passion in. And you know, you guys, if you feel the same, I always, you know, advise to the people who love combat, you know, instead of just being a fan, why not take part in it as well? And there's a lot that you unlock about yourself as a character in general. There's a lot that you learn about yourself as well. You know, I've been going to the gym ever since I was about 17, 18, and there's a lot that I've learned about myself at the gym as well. And I feel like I've taken myself, in terms of my physical, just the physical aspect of myself, I've taken it to the next level by actually competing now. And wrestling, to start off with wrestling as my first combat sport to compete in and just to train in, I truly understand why wrestlers say that wrestling is a way of life. And yeah, it really is a way of life. You know, it's so humbling, first of all. You know, as somebody, I'm not someone who's just gone from not working out at all, not knowing anything about fitness, to just jumping straight into wrestling. No, I've actually developed myself into, I would say, an intermediate gym goer when I started wrestling over a year ago. I was someone who was, I knew how to, I knew the etiquettes of working out. I knew how to build muscle. I know, what it takes to be, to thrive at the gym, to actually, go consistently. I was a good gym goer, just to be exact. And putting myself in wrestling, it was very humbling. I realized that, some just because you're good at the gym doesn't mean that you're good at fighting or combat. I never thought that it would make me automatically a good fighter. I just didn't know whether I didn't think that I would feel like such a beginner again. I started going to the gym since I was like 17, 18, and I felt like I was back on like my first day at the gym, but this time on the mats in wrestling. And I felt, obviously you feel a bit, you could feel a bit let down, you could feel a bit disappointed, you could feel like, ashamed, but at the same time, something clicked inside of me, and I thought, this is great. This is also a great feeling. I know what I'm not good at. Like, I know there's a lot to improve on. I'm just gonna keep showing up, and I'm just gonna, keep coming back to training, and just focused, and just, keep improving. And this is one piece of advice I want to give to anyone in any endeavor, in whatever it is. It could be the gym, it could be in a combat sport, it could be in boxing, it could be at work, it could be whatever it is. Most people, and I've seen this firsthand, most people, their first time doing something, they fail. A lot of people, it's very normal to fail your first time trying to do something, and it could be something, very pressurizing or competitive, like wrestling, a combat sport, and then you feel let down, or you feel disappointed in yourself for not doing as well as you thought you was going to do, and then you just don't show up anymore. You just basically give up. And to those people who do that, I want to tell you that you are missing out big time on who you could unlock to be. You could unlock this side of you that I don't want to go on a rant here. I just want to make this as concise as possible, but also to provide help for anyone who's struggling with their mentality at the gym, the mental aspect, the mental game of a person when they're living in this competitive world, especially nowadays in 2025. A lot of us who have grown up during the age of social media, come in, and now you're seeing a lot of kids your age, or a lot of people just a year older, could be even like 2 years younger than you, and they've gone on to do a lot of great stuff for themselves. The first thing you should not do is to look at that and then feel ashamed of yourself. You should look at that and think, one day or day one. A lot of us, we always tell ourselves, yeah, we're going to start tomorrow, and tomorrow we're going to lock in, and we're never going to do it. And I know it's a thing that everyone always says, but I really mean this for real. The day you start, people always worry about having the perfect start. Yeah, but today's not the perfect time. Today I feel a bit like this. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to be able to do as well if I start today. I'll start next week. Waiting for the perfect day is not the perfect start. The perfect start is to start. The fact that you start today is the perfect start, because today is like, this is the way my brain thinks. This is the way I think. Today, if you start today compared to you trying to start next week, if you was to start wherever you're trying to start today, and you build the momentum up all the way to next week when you were supposed to start, your other side, your alter side of yourself was supposed to start next week, you would have gained, let's say this time next week, if you was to start, you would have gained 7 days more experience and 7 days worth of more improvement by the time next week even comes. And yeah, this also, there's more things I could tell you now. I could even say that, the fact that you're even thinking about starting something next week rather than as soon as possible, it's like almost as if you're guaranteeing yourself to live till next week. Now, I'm not saying don't build a foundation, or don't build something for yourself, you know, like, just to simply put this into perspective, like, you're not guaranteed to live till next week, or you're not guaranteed to see another day, yet you're always like assuming that you're gonna, you know, become the better version of yourself next week. Don't fall into this trap. Start today. And, you know, don't have worries about, oh, what if, how am I gonna look if I fail? Are people gonna laugh at me? People are gonna talk regardless. Whether you win, they talk. Whether you lose, they talk. And, you know, sometimes they won't even talk at all. But I know one thing for sure: if you're doing well, they are going to be talking about you, because you're doing, you know, you're getting all the news, you're getting all the attention. Whether that's positive praise from people, negative, you know, you should see them both as one. You should just see them as noise, and you should appreciate the good praise and you should ignore the bad praise, but don't overindulge into that, you know, into the noise, and start thinking, oh, what does he think about me, or what does she think about me? At the end of the day, it's you by yourself, and in your graveyard, it's going to be you by yourself. No one else is going to hold your hand. So that's another reason why, you know, I've even started combat sports. You put yourself into a room full of like-minded individuals, like-minded men, or, you know, women, whatever it is, and people all want to make it. They all want to be number one. You want to win, and your opponent wants to win as well. Who's going to win? Who wants it more? You know, who's got the better skills? So you build all of this by improving, showing up to training every single time, you know, always busying yourself with, you know, something that is productive. And as a Muslim, you know, I always go back to the same message, you know, your religion is number one. And, you know, occupying yourself with good stuff like religion and bettering yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, these are all very important things for, as a man, to build, you know, to build yourself. And yeah, I hope you guys have truly, you know, enjoyed my video. And, you know, if you're still watching it, then please like, subscribe. I appreciate all the views, all the comments, all the support, all the views, yeah, literally everything. And I hope you guys, you know, truly take my message on board. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.